campaign I did for Coca-Cola. I showed it to my mom. She doesn't even speak English. And she cried so much. She could actually feel it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to We Are Duffree's Perspectives.
We have a lot of responsibility. We reach thousands and millions of people through the projects that we're doing.
We are a creative agency maximizing the positive impact on businesses, society, and our planet.
So if you currently look at all communication marketing campaigns, it's not always representing society.
Radical change needs to happen now. Otherwise, brands and companies are going to get left behind.
You know, if you're a marketing manager, if you're in a senior position, you're an opportunity maker. So how can you redistribute those opportunities in an interesting way?
Every week, founder Mitchell talks to visionaries and changemakers who are shaking up the status quo.
We create content for every living soul on this planet.
Get ready to be launched into a new perspective.
I've got a quick fire round question now. What's your favorite film?
I think The Hate, The Hen.
I love it. It's definitely in my top 3.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. I
So
remember
good.
I saw it when I was in high school still. Speaking about film or advertising?
Wow. Can I say both?
I've heard you love karaoke.
I love karaoke.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
I Want It That Way, Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a person who you admire and you would like to work with in the future?
I think my newest obsession is Michaela Coel from I May Destroy You.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have her perspective.
Wow, yeah. The work she does is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What would be a dream project or campaign for you?
I actually got approached by the Argentinian government to tackle masculinity,
Mm-hmm.
but they ghosted me.
Oh,
They ghosted me.
no.
But that would be my dream project. To be
Oh,
honest.
wow.
I think there's a huge problem with masculinity in my home country.
Yeah,
And how men
yeah,
see themselves in society.
yeah. What is your biggest strength?
My biggest strength. I think not giving up. I think I have so many, reasons why I actually gave up about everything, including the moment that actually I abandoned advertising. I mean, I think it's super healthy to,
Yeah,
ask yourself some questions like, do I actually want to keep on doing this for the next X amount of time of my life or whatever?
welcome.
Thank you.
Laura, very, very welcome. Happy to have you here.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this started. I think you're such a big inspiration and your creative work is been on the radar, or my radar, and on our radar for quite a while now. Could you give us a little introduction of yourself, please?
Okay, so I'm Laura Visco. I'm Executive Creative Director of ECD, shorter version, as Vintu and Sunny here in Amsterdam. I'm originally from Argentina. I'm living in the Netherlands for the last 6.5 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not counting all the months. And yeah, I mean, I've been working in advertising for the last 20 years of my life. Started very young.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm constantly pushing to make advertising that, breaks the mold a little bit and,
Mm-hmm.
Breaks the stereotypes in a sense.
So interesting, because you started out already in the industry as a teenager, right?
As a teenager, which is insane. Yeah, I started when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I got interested in advertising because my brother basically does the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got interested because all the books were in English. So that was my first passion. I thought I was going to be an English translator. So that's actually how I got to read all those books. And then I was like, well, this sounds very fun and very interesting. I think maybe I can do that. And then I started studying the same as he did. It was a little bit of a drama in the family because my parents were like, do you really like this? Or are you just copying your brother and what he's doing? There was also the whole gender thing. I mean, there are no women working in the creative area.
Especially back then.
Especially back then. I think now things luckily have changed a lot, but
Not enough.
Not enough.
Let me say that.
But I was a little bit of an alien when I started.
Within the men's environment that you were.
Yeah, I was
that you put yourself in, actually.
Totally. No, I have to. Yeah, like I was working amongst men, and
they were not really role models.
No. No. So I had to like kind of break the mold.
Yeah, wow. You still have one of the busiest jobs in the industry. What are some of your favorite projects or campaigns that you've done throughout the years?
I think the one that I liked the most was It's Okay for Guys, for Axe, that touched on the subject of toxic masculinity. It was, I think, one of the most important topics I ever touched in, within my career. It was a much needed conversation. It happened like way before, Me Too and all the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Toxic masculinity wasn't really a thing that people were like talking about. So like campaign actually came a year earlier from all of that. So we kind of kicked it off in advertising, and then other brands followed. But it was good to kick off the conversation in the industry, and that it was actually much needed, because when you talk about gender, you instantly think about women, but you never really think about the other side of it. As men, and how they understand their gender as well, that maybe, socioeconomically, they have an advantage, but, maybe that advantage is not emotional. Men struggle to talk, and, there are other things that come with that, like depression, suicide, a lot of things that are not violence too.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are not really
talked about,
and they're quite taboo. So it was the first time we brought that topic up in advertising, and I always remember the campaign with a lot of love.
Yeah.
And I think the latest one we did for Coca-Cola, that we talked about the new normal, and what we want this new normal to be, seeing a little bit like the glass half full in the situation, and understand, which things we like about the new normal, and trying to see the positive side in this difficult situation that we all have to go through.
How do you think, or how do you see a brand as Coca-Cola trying to turn their messaging in a way that's positive for the planet and society? It's something I've been really I've been struggling with lately. We had a campaign, or we got a brief from an agency for Coca-Cola, and in the end we said no to it because it didn't feel right for us to do it, because we had to do a promotion, but I didn't see the long-term positive impact that the campaign would have. It felt like surprising someone, making their life good for just an hour or for that day, but there was no long-term commitment from that side. How do you see that when you work with these brands and that kind of campaigns?
Yeah, I think like the campaign actually had two sides. One, that it was, thought leadership, and what an optimistic brand like Coca-Cola can say in a moment like this. It's a brand that always had a voice, in difficult moments. Post Vietnam War, like they always had something to say about, and a posture on the world. And the second part of it was actually helping Horeca, and helping restaurants and bars and shops are struggling at the moment. So it was actually twofold. One part was how we see the world, and the other one is what we're gonna actually do to help people that are not having a good time right now, and they are like directly linked with their business.
What are some of the best responses you've received for your campaigns?
I think actually with It's Okay for Guys, we inspired a school to actually start talking about masculinity. And when we found out of that, we actually sent T-shirts of the campaign to all the kids.
Wow! So
of that school.
So after is this the X campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So after that went live?
Yeah. A teacher saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, this campaign is amazing. I should, share it with my students.
Wow.
They were all like 8, 9 years old, and they did some videos around, what the outcome of a conversation after seeing the campaign. And they were like, it's totally okay for guys to have long hair, or to have feelings. And it's amazing to see, what you do use as a tool, to actually trigger some conversations and chat about, much needed topics,
Wow. So it showed the literally impact this commercial campaign had, because the campaign is, of course, also part of like selling these products. But that we as advertisers or as creators, we can have such a big impact.
Totally. And I think the other one I can think of was actually with the latest campaign I did for Coca-Cola. I showed it to my mom. She doesn't even speak English. And she cried so much. Like she could actually feel it. And, I live super far away from home. So for my mom to actually feel something about what I do, and she doesn't really like the fact that I live abroad, that was awesome. That was actually the best result I could ever have, for my mom to feel proud in a way of, what I do.
Wow. Was that the first time you really felt that connection since you lived abroad?
Yeah. I think she actually is like, now I understand what you do.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
Wow. We, with the work we make, we try and have a positive impact on our clients' businesses, but we also want to make the positive impact on the planet and society. We really don't do a project if we cannot check all 3 of them. But we believe that we have to do more than the work we make for external clients. That's why we started this, because we believe we have to amplify the voices of changemakers like yourself. How can we address the gender imbalance in the industry?
I mean, it's starting to happen, the change. I think it's just not fast enough. If I compare it to, the moment I started working in advertising and now, it feels like a lot happened, which is great. And I celebrate it. I think the change will happen even faster. I think when like women are not taken as, tokens, for like sometimes it feels like people don't really talk about our talent, they only talk about representation. I think the conversation is to start being about both things, when not just a number or to fill a quota, there's actually amazing female talent. Thing is, for a number of other reasons, I think we're just not getting to, those positions faster.
Yeah.
Because the typical mold of how a leader looks like is still a male mold.
What makes something a good concept or a good creative idea?
I think a good concept of creative idea is one that you look at and you're like, not really enough. How come no one thought about that before? When you have that feeling, it's like you're in front of something very unique. Something that has been floating around, but nobody really grabbed it, I think when you feel that, it's like when you are in front of something very, very unique. And then it's just very, very simple. You need to feel something here. You need to feel something in your stomach. For me, the gut is here. I don't know. Maybe for other people it's somewhere else. But if I feel it here, if it makes me feel something, I know I'm in front of something really, really good.
Is it close to the feeling of freedom?
I'm not sure if it's... no, for me, it's... I'm not sure it's freedom for me. It's more like you feel re-energized by something. That's...
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
Laura, thank you very much for having this conversation with me. I think the main feeling I get out of having this conversation with you is being completely re-energized. So thank you for coming over and sharing your knowledge with us, and keep on doing what you do, because you're a huge inspiration. And maybe you don't see yourself like it, but you are, I think, a a really amazing role model for so many others. So thank you.
No, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.